A 23-year-old college graduate spent her entire summer working on a cruise ship, and what she discovered about passenger demographics will shatter your assumptions about who actually cruises. While scrolling through social media, you've seen memes painting cruise ships as floating retirement homes, filled exclusively with elderly passengers shuffling to early bird dinners. But industry data from 2025 reveals something different. The average cruise passenger age has dropped to just 42 years old. Today, we're completely debunking one of the most persistent myths about cruise travel. From families with young children, who represent the fastest-growing cruise demographic, to millennials and Gen Z travelers revolutionizing ship design and activities, the reality of modern cruise passengers looks nothing like the stereotypes suggest. But the most shocking statistic we'll reveal shows how dramatically cruise demographics have shifted in the last 5 years. It involves a passenger age group that cruise lines now consider their most valuable customers. And when you discover which generation that is, you'll understand why entertainment, dining, and shore excursions are being completely redesigned. The origins of the elderly-only myth. This persistent stereotype traces back to the cruise industry's early marketing strategies from the 1970s and 80s. During that era, cruise lines deliberately targeted affluent retirees, who had both the time and disposable income for extended vacations. Television commercials featured well-dressed seniors enjoying formal dinners, and ballroom dancing, creating an image that became deeply embedded in popular culture. The marketing worked too well. For decades, younger travelers assumed cruising was exclusively for their grandparents, while cruise lines struggled to attract diverse age groups, despite offering activities and amenities designed for all generations. This created a self-fulfilling prophecy where younger people avoided cruises, reinforcing the perception that ships were filled only with older passengers. But demographic shifts in the cruise industry began accelerating dramatically after 2010. Economic recovery, changing work patterns, and social media influence started attracting younger travelers, who discovered that modern cruise ships bore little resemblance to the sedate voyages their grandparents remembered. The transformation became undeniable when cruise lines started reporting that their fastest booking growth was coming from passengers under 35 years old. This trend accelerated so quickly that it caught even industry analysts by surprise. Speaking of surprises, the real age breakdown shows how outdated the stereotypes truly are. The real numbers behind cruise demographics tell a very different story. Current industry statistics paint a dramatically different picture than popular perception. According to the Cruise Lines International Association's latest comprehensive study, only 28% of cruise passengers are over 60 years old. The largest age group falls between 35 and 54. They represent 34% of all cruisers. Even more surprising, passengers aged 25 to 44 now make up 31%. That's the second largest demographic on modern ships. And they're not just taking short weekend getaways. They're booking week-long Caribbean and Mediterranean voyages, even world cruises that span multiple months. Families with children under 18 are the fastest growing segment. They increased by 47% between 2020 and 2025. And they don't just cruise once and stop. Loyalty data shows families book an average of 3 additional cruises within 5 years. The demographic shift becomes sharper when you look by cruise line and ship type. Adventure lines report average passenger ages in the mid-30s. Expedition cruises to places like Antarctica average about 43. Even traditional lines have seen average ages drop as entertainment and dining expanded. But raw age statistics only tell part of the story of how cruise demographics evolved. Cruise lines saw the age shift, then overhauled ships, entertainment, and marketing. Royal Caribbean invested over $4 billion between 2015 and 2025, purpose-built to attract younger travelers and families. Think surf simulators and towering rock walls, indoor skydiving. Yep, on board, and yes, bumper cars at sea. Norwegian scrapped formal nights and fixed times. Freestyle dining lets you eat what you want when you want. Result? Bookings from under 40 guests jumped 62% by 2023. Entertainment got a reboot. Comedy clubs bring the laughs. Live music showcases current artists. Interactive game shows pack the theater, plus tech experiences, VR arcades, and escape rooms. Shore days shifted to real adventure, ziplining through jungle canopies. ATV trails for the thrill seekers, scuba dives with vibrant reefs, and cultural immersion over souvenir shopping. Social sharing became central, fast Wi-Fi and Insta-worthy spots everywhere. Some ships even offer social media concierges. The strategy worked. Under 45 bookings surged 30 to 50%. Lines that stayed old school? They struggled to fill cabins. Modern cruising now builds for the young and welcomes everyone. Why young people are choosing cruises? The reasons they now embrace cruising challenge old assumptions about what motivates each generation. Convenience ranks number 1. 68% cite visiting multiple destinations without constant packing and unpacking. Value perception has shifted dramatically. A 7-day Caribbean cruise with lodging, meals, entertainment, and island hops often costs less than 3 nights at a similar resort in the region. Young professionals and families discover cruises they couldn't afford as land-based trips. Social aspects are a huge draw. Ships create easy spaces to meet people from diverse backgrounds. Friendships often continue long after the voyage ends. Many say those connections are the most valued part of their trip. Technology integration meets modern expectations. High-tech fitness centers and gaming arcades are standard on new ships. Apps control lighting, book shows, and order room service right from your phone. Multi-generational appeal matters more than ever. Younger travelers often sail with parents or grandparents, creating shared experiences that strengthen bonds across ages. Ships excel at offering together time or separate activities, as you prefer. And the strongest proof it isn't just for the elderly? Look who's booking the priciest, most adventurous itineraries next. Luxury and adventure, cruising demographics. The luxury segment shows the sharpest shift. Passengers booking suites and premium cabins now average 46 years old. A decade ago, that average was 58. These younger luxury cruisers aren't just upgrading cabins. They're driving demand for premium dining, exclusive shore excursions, and personalized service. Adventure and expedition cruising skews even younger. Alaska, Antarctica, and the Galapagos now average passenger ages in the early 40s. These travelers want authentic experiences and wildlife encounters. They seek learning and challenge the idea of cruises as passive vacations. River cruising, once the most mature segment, has transformed. The average passenger age fell from 67 to 54 in just 5 years. Younger guests come for cultural immersion, history, and intimate ship experiences. Theme cruises pull in remarkably young demographics. Music sailings, rock, country, and electronic dance, average ages in the 20s and 30s. Comic-Con at sea, cooking voyages, and fitness cruises skew younger too. Expedition itineraries are a standout for younger travelers. They chase Instagram-worthy moments in remote locations. These trips often cost far more than traditional voyages, yet they consistently attract passengers in their 30s and 40s. For many, they're once-in-a-lifetime adventures worth the premium. Now, before we reveal the most surprising demographic trend, let me ask you something important. We've seen how cruise lines completely transform their offerings to attract younger passengers, investing billions in new ships and experiences. Do you think the cruise industry successfully shed its elderly-only image, or do you still encounter people who assume cruising is just for older travelers? Share your experiences in the comments because this perception affects how millions of people make their vacation choices. Millennials and Gen Z are redefining what a cruise looks and feels like. Born between 1981 and 2012, they span young professionals to digital natives. They now account for over 40% of bookings, the industry's largest, most influential group. Planning starts on social, reviews, reels, and forums guide every choice. They prioritize experiences over stuff. Memories win. Personalization is expected. Dining, entertainment, even cabin vibes. Cruise apps let them customize the entire trip before they board. In port, authenticity wins. Real culture, real connections. Think cooking with local families or volunteering on community projects. They want experiences that connect them to people and place. Social sharing drives discovery and decisions. Ships add Instagram spots and roaming photographers for snap-ready moments. Experiences are built to be postable, short, striking, shareable. The best marketing now comes from passengers, not ads. Sustainability matters, big time. Many choose lines for cleaner tech and clear environmental policies. Flexibility seals the deal. Freestyle dining, casual dress, and late-night options fit real lives. Apps handle schedules, reservations, even room service. Bottom line, younger travelers are steering the industry's course. Family cruising has exploded in popularity. Millennial parents are driving the surge. They've discovered exceptional value for multi-generational vacations. Families with children under 18 now book over 2.4 million cabins every year, a 130% increase since 2015. The big appeal? Convenience and value. Parents can actually relax while kids are safely entertained. Adults enjoy dining, spa time, and nightlife without worry. Kids clubs run from early morning to late evening, with structured activities led by trained counselors. Cruise lines invested heavily in family-friendly amenities, water parks and splash zones, surf simulators and rock climbing walls, plus interactive game areas that keep kids engaged. These offerings rival major theme parks and resorts. Educational programming is increasingly important too. Think marine biology talks and cultural workshops with hands-on learning parents value for their kids. The economics are compelling for budget-minded parents. A family of 4 can cruise 7 days with meals and entertainment for less than 2 nights at many family resorts. Multi-generational trips let parents and grandparents vacation together, with activities for all ages and quiet spaces for quality time. Breaking down age-based cruise stereotypes. The most persistent stereotypes about cruise passengers crumble when confronted with actual passenger behavior and preferences. Younger cruisers are more likely to participate in active shore excursions, stay up late enjoying nightlife, and try new dining experiences compared to older passengers who often prefer relaxed port days and familiar food options. Physical activity levels on ships correlate more with individual fitness preferences than age demographics. Fitness centers, sports courts, and active deck areas see participation from all age groups, with many passengers in their 60s and 70s maintaining more active cruise schedules than some passengers in their 20s and 30s. Dining preferences challenge assumptions about what different age groups want from cruise cuisine. Younger passengers often seek out traditional formal dining experiences and cooking demonstrations, while older passengers frequently prefer casual dining options and international cuisine that they might not try at home. Entertainment choices span all demographics in surprising ways. Traditional production shows attract audiences ranging from young children to seniors, while comedy clubs and live music venues see participation from passengers of all ages who share common interests rather than generational preferences. Technology adoption on ships varies more by individual preference than age group. Many passengers over 60 embrace ship apps, social media sharing, and digital entertainment options, while some younger passengers prefer traditional activities like reading, board games, and casual conversation. The social dynamics on ships create natural mixing between age groups that rarely occurs in other vacation settings. Shared dining tables, group activities, and common spaces encourage interactions between passengers who might never meet in their daily lives, creating cruise communities that transcend age-based boundaries. The secret phrase for today is age mix, and if you made it this far, you've discovered the truth about modern cruise demographics that completely destroys the elderly-only myth. The most shocking statistic we promise to reveal involves Generation X passengers, born between 1965 and 1980. This demographic, now aged 45 to 60, represents the cruise industry's most valuable customers because they combine the highest spending per cruise with the greatest loyalty and repeat booking rates. They book premium cabins, specialty dining packages, expensive shore excursions, and luxury amenities while maintaining cruise schedules that average 4 voyages per year. Generation X cruisers drive industry profitability because they have reached peak earning years while maintaining active lifestyles that align perfectly with modern cruise offerings. Cruise lines consider them so valuable that ship design, entertainment programming, and dining options increasingly target their preferences and expectations. The cruise industry has pivoted from retirement-focused trips to true multi-generational travel. It's one of modern tourism's most successful demographic shifts. Think less shuffleboard and bingo, and more rock walls, surf simulators, and sky-high thrills. Nightclubs now pulse until 3 in the morning. Today's passengers span infants to centenarians, floating communities at sea. That diversity reflects society itself. The elderly-only stereotype lingers mostly among non-cruisers, or people picturing outdated ads from decades past. Reality looks very different. Young families build sandcastles on private island beaches. Teenagers learn to surf on shipboard simulators. Young professionals network over specialty dining. Middle-aged couples take dance lessons at sea. Active seniors go ziplining on port days. Your cruise is shaped more by ship, itinerary, and preferences than by who else is on board. With so many venues and vibes, everyone can craft their own pace. Have you been surprised by the age mix on your cruises? Or do friends still think cruising is only for older travelers? If you've hesitated because of age assumptions, what would change your mind? Share your perspective in the comments to help others. Your experiences bust myths better than any ad. Subscribe for more cruise myth busting and smarter vacation decisions.